we talk about the world being a more spiritual place, a lot of people say, how can that be? It's a more spiritual place because everything's lining up and we are coming into our true identities, who we were created to be in the first place. You have to understand that we are becoming who we have always been. And when I say about the spiritual mothers and the matriarchs coming together, it's because it's time. We're going to have to come together in unity on one accord to actually change the world the way that we see it now. And so, because of everything that's happening in the atmosphere, in the cosmos, everything is lining up to align with the spiritual energies that is in the mothers of the earth. And so now is the time for us to actually come forward and do what we were created to actually do. It's time for us to come forth and use the spirit of the light, to use everything that is at our disposal, because most of us, we are matriarchs. I'm matriarch of my tribe. Everything that I know has been passed down from generations to generations. My great-grandmother was a matriarch. My great-great-great-great-grandmother was a matriarch. You know, the healing elements, everything that we do, the pure essence of who we are has been handed down from generation to generation. So when I sat down last night and I looked back 7 generations of the matriarchs of just my clan, I was amazed. I was proud. I was, it helped me to realize that I have work to do, and it's time for me to actually walk in my gifts, walk in my talents, to utilize everything that was handed down to me from the matriarchs that came before me. You know, I don't want to let my ancestors down. I don't want to drop the torch, to say. I'm going to take that torch, I'm going to run with that torch, and I'm going to light the way to show you to the next dimension. There is, where we are right now in this earthly realm, this is not the only realm that we can operate in. This is not the only level of consciousness that we can operate in. When we operate in a different level of consciousness, when we operate in a different realm, we're smarter, we're wiser, we're more enlightened. We can actually use our gifts. And you know, a lot of times you will hear me talk about, I transport to another dimension so I can get the answer. Like if something's puzzling me and I can't find the answer here, my ancestors has hid it in another dimension for me to get that answer and to come back and have the answer that I need in this earthly realm. I want you to understand that in this earthly realm, this is our realm of limitation, because we're limited to this body. And so you have to open up your mind and you have to see the bigger picture, because you are not limited to this body when you can travel and operate in other dimensions of self. Different levels of consciousness is what I'm talking about. So in this level of consciousness, I'm confined, I'm limited, but in a different level of consciousness, I can achieve the impossible. I can learn things, I can grow, and I can come back and use them in this level of consciousness where I'm trapped in this body. And so there's so much. I mean, I just get excited when I think about it, but I need you to understand that I come from a matriarchic clan. And because of that, I was taught by my ancestors how to operate in my gifts, in my spiritual gifts. And I have so many different gifts. You know, I am a healer. I'm a truth seeker. You know, I'm the head of the clan at this time. And, you know, so for spiritual guidance, I'm going to be the person that they seek out. For healing, I'm going to be the person that they seek out. Just for overall direction in the path they take, because I'm going to seek and I'm going to go a little further to help them to achieve their goals that they're trying to achieve. I'm going to go into the spiritual realm to where I'm going to come back with the answers. And you know, the good thing about this tribe, this clan, is that we give you the tools to help you to come to your own conclusion, to walk in your own destiny and your own purpose. But it's time for us to walk into the light. It's time for us to use spiritual enlightenment, to use the spiritual gifts that has been handed down generation through generation. You definitely don't want it to stop with you. You know, like I said, I can go 7 generations back, and my ancestors, the matriarchs of this clan, before I ever became the matriarch of this clan, there were others that were before me that I learned. We're talking about secrets and techniques and principles and fundamental foundational stuff that was used to help our clan to survive. I want you to understand, I'm talking about being a part of a clan. I'm talking about being a part of a tribe. And so for our tribe to expand and for our tribe to survive, there were certain things, certain secrets, certain wisdom and knowledge and techniques and traditions that was passed down for the clan to survive. And so when I talk about being a matriarch, I want you to understand being a matriarch means that you're the one person that everybody comes to. You know, that's the reason why they call me Mother Wisdom, because no matter what is going on, I'm going to be your go-to person. So whether it's spiritual, emotional, psychological, physical, because I am a healer and I am the light. I'm the light for such a time as this, to lead you from out of the darkness into the light, into your purpose, into your destiny. So because of that, you know, you're going to come to Mother Wisdom for the things that you need. I'm excited because I take pride, because I do not want to let the ancestors down. We're going to keep this clan alive. We're going to keep this tribe alive. We're going to keep thriving, because that's what we do. We thrive as a tribe.
So there's another thing that we have to address for the people's sake, due to misinformation, the communities and all that. So they want to understand that, you know, this is all the Earth tribes. All of Earth tribes are matrilineal societies, correct?
Yes.
And in all of the Earth tribes being matrilineal societies, you have, you know, the Earth tribes that are spread out, you know, different continents of indigenous, you know, people in the Americas, in the continent of Africa, Australia, some of the islands, you know, all of those. That's who you're referring to when you say that the mothers come together. All of the leaders from those areas are coming together in this time period, correct?
Yes, and that's what we're calling for. For all of the leaders from the matriarchic clan to come together as one, because we have decisions to make. We have to change the world in which we live. We have to come together using our gifts, our talents. Each tribe, each clan, you know, it was passed down from generation to generation. So I want you to also understand that this is a generational thing. And so the gifts, the talents, was passed down from generation to generation within the matriarchs of the family. And so matriarchs of not just the family, of the clan. So I want you to learn that clan, family, tribe, these are interchangeable, because you first have to understand who your tribe is. And, well, excuse me, let me rephrase that. You first have to understand who your clan is. It is so important that you find out your clan. From your clan, you're going to move into your tribe. From your tribe, your clan and your tribe becomes family. So it all becomes one. So that's why I'm telling you that it's interchangeable. But I want you to understand, we are truly calling for the matriarchs of every clan from all over the world to come together, because we have work to do. We need to use our gifts, our talents, our resources in connection with each other to change the very fabric of our existence. You know, it's time for us to do what everybody else thinks that can't be done. Look, if you look around, you see that our youth is in trouble. Why? Because we have stirred away from the clans, from the tribes, because as a tribe, you raise your children together. Your children is going to the matriarch. Your children, it's like one big, huge extended family. So we've gotten away from all of that, and now the TV is raising our children. We've gotten away from the clan, the tribe aspect of things, and it is beginning to affect every facet of our life. So it's time for us to come back together as a clan, as the matriarchs of our clan. We need to come together and do what's best for our clan, for our tribe, and that means for our young people, that means for our children, our young people, our elderly people. As a tribe, as a clan, what is it that we need to be doing to unify not only our immediate clan, but the clans around the world? Because we're greater together than we are apart. And when we come together in one purpose, one driven purpose to achieve common goals, then we will see everything change.
Now that actually leads us to the next question that the people have right now. And so you're saying the clans come together, for the greater, common purpose. And it's a lot of people that are wondering, are the time for the imposters that have the colonizers, the imposters, whatever you want to call them, whether we want to say that they were Moors, dirty Moors, or whether they're actually white-skinned people, brown-skinned people, whoever they are, their time is up and they have to stop. They're not going to have control anymore. Is that true?
That's absolutely true. Because there's a time and a season for everything, and so you're talking about my passion, my bloodline. You need to understand that this is in our blood. You're talking about our heritage. You're talking about the very essence of who we are. So we don't have time for the imposters. We don't have time for people that's just making a noise, because in the world that we live in, you have these people that you don't know what side they're on. They're just making noise, and they're there just for the distraction. We don't have time for distractions. We've got a common purpose, a common goal that we need to achieve together. That's why I'm calling for the matriarchs of the clan, because we need to come together, our clans together in unity, so we can teach the people the real way. Don't let your ancestry die out because you're not coming forward and saying, you know what, we can heal. We do have medicines. We can use nature. We can use everything in God's creation. Because I need you to understand, we can use everything in God's creation at our disposal to change the very fabric of this life that we're living in. I need everybody to understand that things are not what they seem. I say it all the time, this isn't that and that isn't this. And so you need to understand that there's a lot of imposters out there. There's a lot of people out there that's just making noise. I'm not even talking to those people. Do what you do, make the noise that you make, do what you do, but your time is coming to an end, because the real clan members is now coming forward. We're no longer hiding back in the dark. We're no longer scared of what can be done to us. We're facing our fears head on. And it's time for us to come forward and to let the world know, look, there was greatness within our tribe. There was greatness within our clan. And within our clan, this is the knowledge and the wisdom that we have. This is our ability to navigate life and all of life's circumstances. Look, we're here and we're here to stay, and the clan's coming back. And so it's time for, when I say the clan, of course, I'm talking about the clan, I'm talking about the tribe, all of it's coming back. And it's time for us to take our rightful place and show the way for real.
So the people also had a question in regards to your specific ancestry. So, they want to know, could you break down for the people, where it is that you're from and where it is that your matriarch is housed at?
Okay. First of all, I need you to understand that the map that we look at now is not the map that was then. Mm-hmm. And so we have to come to understand that, again, things are not what they seem. I'm not going to go into the whole map and this and that, but it was like one big, huge area. My ancestry has Indian on both sides. My ancestors on my father's side, they would have been from the Indians that were in the Alabama area. On my mother's side, that Indian heritage would have been what we would call the Carolinas and Tennessee. And so when you trace it back, I can go back like 7 generations, and we find full-blooded Indians. We find Indians that were like mixed, and then you come to me. When you go back 7 generations, you find that we had Indian matriarchs within our family as far back as 7 generations.
So,
they were truly matriarchs.
So I assume that, since it's a matrilineal, your father, you don't know, we know that, he was Indian, as you're saying, but you inherited and were taught, the ancient teachings from your mother's side. So starting with your mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, from what they had already been taught from great-grandmother, great-great-great-grandmother, and, so on and so forth.
Yes. So I was going to break that down. So when you look at my mother's side, but I wanted everybody to understand that it's in my blood more than one way. So it's also in my blood from my father's side, but that's not where I inherited the wisdom, the knowledge, and the gifts from. Mm-hmm. The wisdom, the knowledge, and the gifts came from the matriarch side of my mother's lineage. And so when I went back 7 generations, she was full-blooded Indian. And I'm saying Indian because at the time they were called Indians, but I say natives. We're native to the Americas. So I don't like putting labels and terms on anybody, because I don't want you to tell me that I'm black. I don't want you to tell me that I'm African American. You have no idea what I am.
Here's another question that the people had, and this is actually something that I dealt with in my tribe as well. I believe it's on my plan to do a teaching on this today. So let's get your opinion on this. Let's get the Mother Wisdom opinion on it. Blood quantum. Right, because from what I know about the whole blood quantum thing that I learned, from you teaching me and, just other knowledge I have of, our clan and tribe, we didn't care about blood quantum. If you had a drop of Indian blood, you was us, regardless. So the whole blood quantum thing is, people are really concerned with that because, and they don't understand where it came from.
That was a way of controlling the people. Mm-hmm. Because once it left to where they were saying that about the natives, which it did not matter to us. What mattered to us is that we took care of our own. And if you was a part of the clan and the tribe, you was a part of the clan and the tribe. But later on through history, that they started saying, if you have an ounce of black blood, that you're black. They took, they have a history of planting seeds in our communities, planting seeds of division. So if I'm saying, I want to know how much native blood you have in you, then I'm causing division. So for me, the quantum and all of that, which was not important to my people, because when I go back to the matriarchs of my family, they could care less about the percentage of whatever was in your blood. They did not care about that. So we have to come to realize that that was implanted in our societies by the powers that be for their benefit. So how would it have benefited them? So you have to always ask the question, if it's an untruth within our community, within our tribe, who is it benefiting? So you have to always go back and look to see who is it benefiting to spread this rumor, to spread this narrative.
Because, that's a major question a lot of people have had for you. I know I get the question a lot as well. And I think it's because there are, we call them keyboard warriors or internet warriors that are a part of, they're probably not even registered in any of these 5 civilized tribe nations or whatever, but let the people know the story that, we know in our family that, you were accepted by the descendants of the Anasazi people in New Mexico, and you were a part of some of their ceremonies and stuff like that.
I've always knew that I had Native heritage, and so I've always been drawn to learn the ways of my people. I haven't always embraced my gifts. I haven't always used the things that was passed down from the matriarchs of our tribe, of our family, of our client, of our family, of our tribe, of our clan, but as I have traveled around, it's kind of like you have not came into the realization of exactly who you are, but when you meet other people from your tribe, they know who you are, even though you don't know who you are. Mm-hmm. So as I traveled New Mexico, as I traveled Arizona, it was amazing to me that I was accepted in and allowed to do things that I really didn't have a full understanding of, because I had suppressed some of it because I didn't want to deal with it.
So you were, from what I remember, what we're trying to convey to the people, you were a part of some sacred ceremonies that we can't discuss on camera with the Laguna Pueblo people that, were only for people that you knew within their tribe weren't even allowed to go, but you
absolutely,
but they accepted you to do.
And I was going to get to that, but I wanted you to understand that because they knew who I was before I was willing to accept fully who I was, and so I was allowed into ceremonies that I really didn't understand. But then once I got in the ceremony, my memory was triggered, and wonderful, awesome ceremonies. And people was often wondering, well, how did you get into that ceremony? How were you allowed into that ceremony? Well, I couldn't answer it, but they knew who I was. They made the connection. Look, she's part of this tribe. She may not realize that she's part of that tribe. But the other thing that I found so fascinating and so interesting, they knew that I wasn't just any member of the tribe. I held a high ranking in the tribe. And, they couldn't understand if I was trying to run from it, hide from it, suppress it, or what I was trying to do. And at the time, I was just trying to get by. I was on a quest for more knowledge, more wisdom, more understanding. And I will tell you that you'll hear me say it all the time, that you're seeking is also seeking you. So the very knowledge and wisdom that I was seeking was already on the inside of me, because it had been passed down from generations to generation. So yes, my time in New Mexico, my time in Arizona, my time out west was very enlightening for me, because I was accepted. I was allowed to do things as a female that they was not allowing the other females to actually do and actually participate.
So from the way I'm hearing it is, they knew that you were one of the big matriarchs, and so they revered and respected you for the matriarch that they knew that you were before you even really accepted that's what it was.
Absolutely.
So this goes to the people, because we just got to offer some encouragement sometimes, because it's difficult for them to start embracing the realness of their heritage. It's difficult for them to embrace their gifts and all of that type of stuff. So we just got to let them know that regardless as to what people say on the internet or these other fake tribe people, the realness of the tribes recognize the real regardless.
Yes, they will recognize. Like if you come within my presence, I will recognize that you are within my bloodline. I will recognize that, okay, this is a clan member. This is a tribe member. This is, whether they want to accept it or not, their blood runs deep in tradition. And I will say that I want you to be encouraged, because I want you to know that in my youth, I embraced it. In my early adulthood, I didn't embrace it. I ran from it. I started doing something else. And then middle age, I was back to embracing it, because my gifts, the call of my ancestors kept coming forward. You have a job to do. You just inherited Mother Wisdom's spot. you're it. For this generation, you're it. But to be told that and to actually walk in it and deal with it can be kind of like scary. And if you listen to what the world's telling you, the world wants you to be confused about your identity, period. They don't want you to know your ancestors. They want to make up some ancestors and give you some fake ancestors that you are never going to be able to identify with, because those really are not your people. Now, don't misunderstand me. We fellowship with tribes all around the world. You know, we fellowship with our brothers and sisters in other countries, you know, and we embrace. But you need to know that you have a clan. And that just because somebody told you that you're from somewhere else, just because somebody told you that you're somebody else, you have to know that you know who you are. And so it took me time to embrace my ancestry. It took me time to embrace my heritage. It took me time. But you know, all along this journey, I was steady learning and gathering knowledge. And then, you know, it was amazing to me that the greatest knowledge and wisdom had been passed down to me from the ancestors. So this quest that I went on looking for all of this information and everything, I already had the key. I already had the information. It was passed down in my lineage. And all I had to do was tap into it and learn to utilize what was already there.
Mm-hmm. So, and you're qualified to tell the people about this type of stuff because you have and you are ongoing to, you know, building an alliance which has already been built with the mothers that are in the continent of Africa, West Africa to be specific.
Absolutely. Because it is so important that you build those alliances. Look, don't let anybody make you forget your heritage, where you came from, your ancestors. Look, the ancestors is crying out to each one of us. The ancestors fought a battle. They fought and waged a war to hold on to their identity. And sometimes you have to understand that they had to hold on to their identity in secret. They couldn't talk about who they really were. They couldn't talk about their true heritage. But look, you can talk about your heritage now. We're in 2024. You have a voice. Let your voice be heard. I encourage everyone, find your clan. Get associated with your tribe. Learn to grow and thrive with your tribe. Now, as the matriarchs of the clans, we are going to come together as one and do what's best for the whole. We're going to come together in unity and do what's best for the whole. But we will also be reaching out to other tribes in West Africa, around the world. We're going to be reaching out to other tribes to help them to walk in their purpose and in their destiny, because it's about you walking in your purpose and your destiny and about you fulfilling the ancestral call. What is it that your ancestors are saying to you? If you just get real quiet, real silent, you can hear them in the wind. You can see them as the leaves rustle. When I look at the trees, I hear the call of the ancestors. When I hear the wind blowing, I hear the call of the ancestors. My favorite place to be is to be near water. When I get near that water, if it's just a creek and I can just see and hear the water, I hear the call of the ancestors. When I'm on the beach where I love to go and just sit and look at the water, it's because I'm hearing the call of the ancestors. I'm hearing the drum beat, the heartbeat of my tribe. I'm hearing it, I'm seeing it, and I'm becoming one with it. So yes, I am qualified because I am Mother Wisdom. I have the wisdom and the knowledge of the ancestors, and I come from a matriarchic clan, a matriarchic tribe that knows how to thrive. And so it's time. You know, I want you to start paying attention to the things that's going on around you. You know, go outside, put your feet in the grass. I like just touching trees. I just like walking by, touching trees. I'm learning how to remember things that I had suppressed. You know, I am a healer. So if you need healing, I would be the one that you came to. But there's healing in everything in nature. And so you have to learn to become one with nature. Once you become one with nature, you start to hear the call of the ancestors. It's not a time that I go outside that I don't hear the call of the ancestors. As I walk through the woods, doing absolutely nothing, just walking, just looking, just being one with the universe, just being one with God. I hear the call of the ancestors that says, teach, train, equip. Make sure that our life was not in vain. Make sure that you keep up the ancestral history, the ancestral teaching, the ancestral gifts that was handed down to you from the other matriarchs of the family.